Welcome to the official AFL Fantasy podcast with the Traders.
G'day with the Traders, I'm Roy, I Coach Destroy, and I'm here with Warnie.
Coach of the Wonder.
And Calvin.
Coach of Calvinator.
Righto, boys, today we're going to have a look at the Gold Coast Suns. Well, they should once again be on the rise. Every year I feel like I'm excited about what they're going to produce, but...
You want the sun's rising, but what do they give you all the time?
They give me a full moon.
Brilliant.
By the end of the season...
Yes.
Waiting for the rise, and we don't get it. No, we don't. Big moon in the face. Now, this, I think...
That's some of your best work.
It is good.
Thanks, guys. Yeah.
Funny the second time round.
You asked for a catchy line, I'll give it to you. Rein them in. Get those views up. Now, Dog, there are some changes, and this is half the reason that I am quite optimistic with their direction. Hit me.
Oh, because what they've done?
Yes,
yeah,
what they've
well,
done.
they've brought in a couple of halfbacks.
They have.
That's probably the big one. So, Daniel Rioli came from Richmond, and we also had, what's his name?
John Noble.
John Noble from Collingwood. They'll come in and play halfback.
100%.
That's their role. That's what
they
they do. Which will cause some shuffle. We'll talk about that. They lost, though, the Rat.
Yes.
Who played halfback sometimes when he was in, but he played a lot of AFL. Lukosius is a big loss, like as a forward there, like a walk-up player. But yeah, quite a few sort of delistings along the way. And,
right. So Rioli and Noble come in. I call the combo abstinence. So it's the end of sexy time.
Fair enough.
Right?
Did you write all these things down?
You got these kept.
What? Did you like that?
I did. It's a new year, new right.
Yeah, thanks. That's all I've got, unfortunately. It's a full moon for me.
And turn it off.
But I do like some things about that. So those two coming in, okay, I think it strengthens a lot of their footy across the whole ground, despite being two halfbacks. Now, one thing, Dimmer loves halfbacks.
Yep.
So he always has. We look at Hooley, Shorty.
Yep.
They've been successful, but the rest of the team is successful around those two, strong halfbacks. Now, a big thing with the Suns is they're all right at home and they suck away.
They do.
Now, these two blokes, they're not going to be worried about playing away. They are more at home away.
There you go.
So I just think, you know what I'm saying?
I got you.
So I just think that is going to have a flow-on effect. Now, I'll take you now to one of their top players. I'm not going to start at the top. I'm starting second with Noah Anderson.
Right.
Okay. Here is your prime example of home and away. So he is averaging, priced at 104.
Yep,
okay.
solid.
Sounds all right, but it's just so meh with him. Now, when he was at home, he averaged 118.
Yeah, wow.
118.
Sounds like Calvin's captain.
It does. And then when he's playing these away games, he's throwing 60s at you and things like that. Now, if they...
Real bad, weren't they?
Yep. So if they take that leap as a team where away games aren't something to fear, someone like Noah Anderson embraces that. Yep. And he doesn't have those 60s, surely. And I think now they must be in a position where they are better away, and players like Noah Anderson are therefore underpriced.
So you're saying 104, he does better than that?
He has to. Yep. Well, that's obviously their plan, isn't it?
It has to be.
I'm with you. Anyway, so here's someone I'm looking at, but the most relevant one is Sam Flanders that we need to talk about.
Was a big dog, 108 average last year, and we saw some really nice stuff. You get paying $1.1 million for him moving forward, but he's now got the defender mid status after he was one of our poster boys in the forward line.
So, and this is the thing. So, it is such a hard read here because he's not going to. So he's got defender status, but that's going to be the last position on the ground where he plays. Now,
he's back to being that mid forward.
He is. So he's got some hugely inflated numbers because he was as good at that role as anybody.
Yep.
Ironically, yes, that move up the ground is going to cost him a few points. So next year he probably won't average that, the same as what he did. However, I still think he's going to average around that 100 mark where he would be an awesome player to have for the year if you just ignore probably the price drop. So are you going to get him at his cheapest at the start? Probably not, but are you going to get a very good, top-of-the-line defender for the year? Yes.
Geez, it was an interesting year for him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like sort of played as a midfielder, then got that cushy role in the back line where he had some big
Huge
games there. And then he was right out of there for the last part of the season.
So after round 18, we saw the role that he's going to have next year. And he averaged 100 in that time. So that's him. He's now 100 to 105 maybe.
So what happened, though, in that last 3 games where he basically didn't have any CBAs?
See, that was interesting as well.
Half forward then?
Yeah.
Is that what he was?
Yeah. So I think his CBAs will be a little bit higher than that. Yeah. But who am I to say?
So in games when he had 50% or more CBAs, he goes at 103 last year. So you think that's about where it is?
This is where I'm saying he is.
Yeah. So he had some bigger games there. His highest CBAs came when Touk was out of the side. So that's interesting in that. But they had a little bit of a mix through there, didn't they? They had a few guys like Matt Rao and Noah Anderson in year 2.
Yes.
That are starting and being in there. So he'll be in that mix, obviously, and hopefully score pretty well. But that, are you saying, though, I'm saying that 108, that's overs.
It is overs, and I love the guy.
He's going down.
That's a down.
Yeah. Now, a couple of guys, they're more draft sleepers, but I spoke at the very top about, no one's forgot my gag, but Rioli and Noble coming in. Those guys are pretty interesting, and I think they're both going to be draft sliders, but there's also a little bit of meat on the bone.
I think so, yes.
Yeah. With Rioli, well, you would know, Cal. You track him very closely because you owned him a couple of years ago, and that was a bit of a roller coaster. But the good thing about a roller coaster
or a Rioli coaster.
Yeah.
It's been used, dog. It's been used.
Still another good gag.
There could be new listeners.
This episode is hilarious. Anyway, the good thing about a roller coaster are there are highs. And I'll tell you what, if he can drop a couple of those lows, he's certainly one to look at. So just have a look at him. So in the last 3 games last year, he averaged 113, and that included a 135 from, listen to this line, you can't be a Muppet and have 36 touches, 10 marks, and 3 tackles.
Yep.
So that's how he finished the season, in absolute ripping form, going into a team that needs halfbacks, under a coach that loves halfbacks, in a team where Sexton was dominating at times.
Yes.
This is Rioli, not
hear you.
Sexton.
So that halfback role last year, when Flanders didn't get a CBA, and there was 8 times that happened, he went at 116.
Yes.
So we're not going to say Rioli's going to be that, but there's a bump on that 84.
100% there is.
Because he's a 90-plus guy.
He is.
As a half.
Yeah.
He's definitely a 90-plus guy.
Hardwick's halfbacks dominate.
Yep. And if we can buy into this little storyline that I created that they're going to be half decent away from home.
Yes.
Well, Rioli is going to push 95 without a doubt.
Yep.
Anyway, Noble is, he's not Rioli, but at his best, I've seen him play some ripping games, and I've often find myself drafting Noble. Now, he started to get a little bit disrespected time to time, and it started with that grand final.
Well, he's out for the finals, wasn't it?
Yeah, which
he played every game.
Incredible. So he's someone I think they are going to embrace his attack off half-back. Like Hardwick will love that. So the ball will be in his hands a lot more often than we used to, where he would have to play lockdown from time to time. The times where he got unleashed as the attacker, he was great. And I think these two are going to go all-out attack off halfback, and both of them are actually underpriced, so therefore will slide in draft.
So who takes the kick in? So last year it was Powell, Flanders, Sexton, Jeffrey. They were the main 4 for kick-in. So who takes it? Rioli?
I think Rioli.
Yep.
Yep. And Noble will race down there for a couple himself. But I think Rioli will be the guy,
There you go.
It's interesting. Like, Flanders was the man for that when he was in that role as well. Like, he was just easily the guy.
If Rioli gets the Flanders role, we could be on something.
Oh, well,
especially
without
for
a
draft.
doubt. Like, none of us will be gutsy enough to pay that and pick him.
No.
And we will sit here every week going, wish we had have just done that, because he's just getting it done week after week. That's what I project will happen there.
Now, these guys are going to be a very hard sell anyway, Destroy, because of one of the key things is they've got an early buy. They've got that first buy, which is a round 2 one with GWS. If there was any learnings from last year, it didn't need to necessarily worry about it too much, but it's enough for me to go, you can't.
No.
Because none of these guys, especially at the top end and even value end of these, that are worth doing that for. But do we have any cheaper guys?
We do.
Who we can call cash cows.
All right, so the exception to the rule, given that handy piece of information you just shared, Dog, is Leonardo Lombard is someone that we just pick anyway. So I'm saying he is right up there with the guys that we pick as the rookies. So 316,000 he'll come in at as the number 9 pick. Now, he can actually rack.
Score?
Yeah, he can. So he averaged 93 in the Talent League, which was pretty good. And what I liked, the VFL level, 18 possessions, 60 points a game.
Yep.
Give him, that extra, a full preseason with the big boys after playing against men, and he'll be straight into the team, I think.
He played 8 games there, so
and he'll be making us cash.
Agree, I like that.
Yeah.
I like it.
So I tick him off, dog. But, yeah, the others are a hard sell based on
It is
that.
a hard sell. Like, you're looking at some of these kids there. Ethan Reid.
He was a top draft
Fish
pick.
put him in the forward pocket in his team.
And he's someone that I will tick the Fish there. He's correct.
Just because it's 230Ks at that basement price.
In my best 22, I had him emergency.
Yeah, 4 games last year, 2 in the vest. Out of the vest, he went 56-76.
Look,
And
he's
that's
very
enough
talented.
for a bench spot.
Yeah, he's very talented as well, and I think they'll want games in him. So, he's certainly someone that you can throw on your bench for sure.
Blast from the past, couple of names there that are down in that rookie price thing. Jai Farah. So he didn't play a game last year, but he did 51 in 2022.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
As a rookie defender. What about Cow? You went down there. Have a look how cheap this is, because this is how you go. You said, what happened to David Swallow? What did you research?
Look at this. So, what do you have? He went at 41, right? The years before, 72-81.
Yeah.
Last year, he played 20 games, 9 of them in a vest.
I know.
But how good was his scores without the vest?
59.
Yeah, not good
That's
enough.
it.
No.
How's he even on the list?
Well, I think,
No, they obviously don't want him to play.
I know, I couldn't squeeze him into my best 22.
I wouldn't think
That's
so.
why I didn't really make a song and dance about
What
him.
did Fisher? Fisher's got him sitting in the emergencies.
Yep. And he might force his way into a vest at some stage. Someone I should probably talk about, because he gets forgotten about a lot, but Jared Witts.
He doesn't get forgotten.
He's still just a very highly draftable guy. So after the ruck run, when he's still there, you launch in and you'll get rewarded. So 16 games last year, that's his lowest for a couple of years. He's actually better than that.
He is.
And his durability isn't what a lot of us think in our head. And you see that 16 and think, he's on the way out. He was fine.
Yep.
And he is still a good one to launch into straight after the ruck run.
Did you talk about Touk?
Yeah, what? So
Okay.
He could be value if we, again, take that trip down memory lane and go, he's 120.
He's
4
120.
years ago.
Yeah.
He's got what's he got next to his name there? 93.
93.
We're just not doing it. I'm sorry.
Why not?
So he's gone backwards. Like, he's gone 120
Yeah.
to 110 to 96 to 93 in the last 4.
And that is why, dog. What justification to turn that back around is there? None.
No.
I'm looking at his scores here. There's a couple of pretty average efforts. A couple of injury scores in there too, though.
Yeah, there are.
So, but I'm with you, Roy. He's at, 93.
And I love the guy.
Yeah.
Absolute workhorse. Inspiration. Well, like, I haven't spoken about Matt Rowell either.
Yep.
Like, Matt Rowell turned himself
He
into
learned
a
to take a
tackling
mark.
machine, and he did. Now, he never really knocked it out of the
park.
park.
No, he didn't.
However, his tackling game was super strong as well. But those marks, dog, you're right, that's all he ever needed to boost himself back to relevance. But he's still a far cry from that guy that we saw burst onto the scene in his rookie year.
This is what he is. He's an
This is what he
inside
is now.
midfielder without the outside tricks to help him.
So as much
get
as
the
I
bigger
love
scores.
Rowell and Miller, Noah Anderson is the only straight mid that I think can consistently score with the best if they start playing when they're away. Otherwise, Flanders is the only one that can score anywhere in Australia.
There you go.
And he's my favourite of the crew.
There you go.
There they go. That was the Gold Coast Suns. And you can head to fantasy.afl.com.au to start picking them, start playing now, and get your draft league set up at fantasydraft.afl.com.au for that all-new experience. Hit follow on wherever you're listening to podcasts and leave your rating and reviews all in there. And for Spotify, tell us who you might pick. Not many, I don't think. From
Who
the
you got
Suns.
in there at the moment, Roy? Who's in the training squad?
The Ninja Turtle, Leonardo.
No,
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
He's
love
in.
it. He's in.
Yeah.
I like it.